Last weekend, my family took a trip to the Smoky Mountains, and I did not do anything before the trip to prep my reselling business for the fact that I'd be gone for a few days, and my sales tanked on all platforms. It's okay to make mistakes if you're gonna learn from them, and I did. I have a couple trips coming up. One is a shorter one this coming weekend. We're gonna be gone for about 4 days, and then I have a longer trip coming up in about 2 to 3 weeks where we are gonna be gone for 2 weeks. And so what I wanted to share with you in this video are the steps that I'm going to be taking to prepare my reselling business for my absence so that I can continue making sales even when I'm not home. The truth of the matter is, it takes a lot of hard work and dedication to build up any sort of momentum in your reselling business, but you can destroy all of that momentum in 1 weekend of negligence. So if you want to learn how to keep up the momentum that you've built in your reselling business, even when you're gone on a trip, stay tuned.
Won't nobody love you the way they should. Won't nobody check up on you, make sure you're good. Won't nobody check those body treatments for your neck.
Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park and I am a part-time reseller, and I resell mainly clothing but some hard goods on reselling platforms like Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, ThredUp, Facebook Marketplace. There's a ton of other places. And I do it part-time because full-time I am actually a high school choir teacher. However, because it's the summer, I have the summer off. I get to spend a lot more time on my reselling business, a lot more time with my family, and a lot more time traveling, which is one of the best things about being a teacher, in my opinion. That being said, one of the hard things about traveling when you're a reseller is not being able to do a lot of the things that you're supposed to do as a reseller on a daily basis in order to keep the momentum going in your reselling business. You know, all of the different reselling platforms that I mentioned, they do like to see a lot of active engagement on a daily basis. That's one of the things that helps you in their algorithm. And when they notice that you're not really doing anything on their app or website anymore, it really can do a number when it comes to how your reselling business does. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you just some things that I'm going to be doing to prepare my reselling business for my absence. So if that sounds interesting to you, and if you enjoy reseller content, especially from the perspective of a part-time reseller, like I said, definitely make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And if at any point you're like, you know what, I'm really learning a lot about reselling from this video, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button, because it does help out this video and my channel in general. So I have broken this video up into 3 sections. The first thing that we're going to talk about is what to do before you go on your trip. The second thing that we're going to talk about is what to do during your trip. And finally, what to do when you come back from your trip. These are all things, again, if you're taking any sort of trip, whether it is short or long, things that you can do on your end to help your reselling business just kind of stay healthy, even though you're not there to tend to it. So the first thing that we're going to talk about are 5 things that you can do before you go on your trip to set your reselling business up for success. The first thing is just stay consistent on all of your platforms in the days and weeks leading up to it, in terms of listing, in terms of sharing, in terms of relisting. Just keep doing what you know you're supposed to be doing, because you want to give your reselling business a healthy foundation before you even leave. The second thing that I would say is start maybe like a week or 2 before you go on your trip, depending on how long you're going to be gone. Start drafting listings that can go live while you're gone. What does that mean? It's kind of different depending on what platform you sell on. I sell on a ton of different platforms, but really the 3 that I'm going to focus on for this video are the 3 that I make the most sales on, and those are Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari. So on Poshmark, they actually have a feature called drops, and what that means is you can create a listing, but you can tell Poshmark, hey, I don't want you to push this listing live until blank. You can give that listing a date and a time that you want it to go live. And the beauty of that is if you know you're going to be gone, let's say you're going to be gone for 5 days, you can start creating listings in the days before your trip, and you can have, let's say, 3 that go live every single day using those drops. And the beauty of it is once you create the listing and once you schedule the time that that listing is going to go live, you don't have to think about it while you're on your trip. It's not like you have to set a timer for yourself yourself to be like, don't forget to push these listings live. Poshmark is just going to take care of that for you. So you just kind of list it, you set the time for it, and you forget about it. And while you're enjoying yourself on your trip, that listing will go live. And that's the kind of engagement that Poshmark wants. They want consistent listing, and that's your way of doing that without actually doing it while you're on your trip, because who wants to step away from their trip to do something as menial as listing? On eBay, you can do something similar. They have a feature called schedule listings, and this is where instead of pushing the listing live at the moment when you create it, you can schedule it out for, I think it's like as far as 2 weeks in advance. Now with eBay, the slightly annoying thing about it is you do have to pay to use that function. You do have to pay 10 cents if you want to schedule your listing out. But again, just like Poshmark, you can schedule your listing for a specific date and time. So one hack to get around having to pay the 10 cents per listing is if you don't mind spending a little bit of time on your reselling business while you're on vacation, let's say like 5 minutes before you go to sleep, what you can do is schedule those listings out for as far out as you can, let's say 2 weeks, and let's say you do this like 1 week before your trip. Then what you can do is every night you can go ahead and go into your scheduled listings and push the listing live yourself before the time and date that it was supposed to drop. Does that make sense? So let's say, it's December 1st and you schedule your listing to go live on December 14th, but you're on vacation on December 10th and you decide to push the listings live on December 10th. Since you actually manually pushed the listings live and eBay didn't do it for you using that automated system, you won't have to pay 10 cents on each of those listings. 10 cents isn't a lot, and so if you really just want to be on vacation and enjoy yourself, just pay the 10 cents.
Treat yourself.
It is not a big deal, and again, it's a great way to just be consistent with your listing on eBay. On Mercari, they don't have, as far as I know, any sort of automated feature like that where you can schedule listings to go live at a certain date and time. However, one thing you can do is you can either just create a draft on Mercari or just create a listing and have it inactive versus active. Then again, if you're okay with spending about 5 minutes on your reselling business a day while you're on vacation, what you can do is you can go into that section of listings that are inactive or that are drafts, and you can just go ahead and push them live. It's really easy to do. You've already done the work. You just have to press a couple buttons, and now you have new listings that have just been pushed out on Mercari. So again, tip number 2 is to schedule out listings before your trip so that you have listings that go live, and you could have listings that go live every single day that you're gone on vacation. You just have to prep and plan a little bit beforehand to make that happen. And in the case of saving 10 cents here and there on eBay or with Mercari, you may have to spend, 5 minutes, 10 minutes per day to push those listings live yourself. The third thing I would suggest you do before you leave for your trip is to have some items that are ready for you to list when you come back. And what I mean by that is, you want to just make sure that you have listings waiting for you, that they're prepped, they're clean, they're pressed, they're ready to go. Perhaps you even have already taken pictures of them and they're in your phone, and all you have to do is list them when you come back. You've already done some of the hard work so that as your body is, adjusting to regular life again, you don't have to go out there and source, you don't have to like sweater shave a bunch of pilly tops or anything like that, but you just have items that are in good condition waiting for you to just go ahead and get them listed. Maybe photographs already on your phone, and that way it's a little bit easier for you to get back into the hang of things when you come back from your vacation. Now, the fourth tip that I'm going to share with you is pretty specific to me and anyone else who happens to use eBliss, which is a shipping service for resellers. eBliss is kind of like Amazon FBA for resellers, and I do have a video where I interviewed the owners and CEOs of the company, and I will link that video right here. And that way you can learn a little bit more about, eBliss and see if that's for you. But one thing that I am planning on doing is sending them a box of inventory before I leave on my trip. And most likely what's going to happen is they're going to receive that box while I'm on my trip. And once they receive it, they are going to push all of those listings live. This is a box of stuff that I am going to try and fill up before I leave for my trip to New York, and that I'm going to be sending into eBliss. So eBliss actually supplies you with like these boxes. They supply you with these bags. They supply you with tape and these like skew things. This is what they use to put the items in their warehouse in the bins. And so I'm going to try and fill up this box with inventory that I have, folded up, and I have the label on, I have my thank you card in, and that's the label that I put in as my SKU. Someone is at my door. That's my friend. So I gotta go. But yeah, I'm gonna fill this up and then send it into eBliss so that they can push these items live for me while I'm on my trip. So now, not only are there going to be listings that go live that I have scheduled out on my end, but there's also going to be a ton of listings from that box or boxes, if I'm really on my game. There's going to be a ton of listings that they are able to push out on their end once they get my box in the mail. Now, you can onboard as an eBliss customer either from Poshmark or eBay. I actually joined eBliss when they only had it through eBay and Poshmark wasn't a thing yet. Like, they were still working on that process. But what that means is you create your listings, and I'll talk you through it from the eBay perspective since that's what I'm doing. But what you do is you create a listing on eBay, but you schedule the listing out for as far as you can. So, 2 weeks in advance. What I do is when I create the listing, I also cross list at that moment using List Perfectly to my other reselling platforms, and I just make them inactive until the time that eBliss gets my box. They send me an email saying, hey, we received your box and we pushed, this many items live today. So at that time, I know that all of those listings are already live on eBay, and they get the items before the 2 weeks are up and before eBay has to push those items live, through the automated service. So I don't have to pay the 10 cents because eBliss will go ahead and push those listings live ahead of time. So I don't have to pay the 10 cents that I talked about earlier, but I know that my listings are taken care of on eBay and that they're listed already. All I have to do is go into Poshmark, Mercari, my other platforms where I have, those listings listed, but they're inactive or they're like in draft form or something. And all I have to do is push those listings live. Again, it's going to take probably 5-10 minutes out of my vacation time to do that, but it's a really quick and easy way to get a ton of listings up while I'm on vacation. So that's definitely something that I'm working on before I go on my trip to New York. Let me just add too that obviously one huge benefit of utilizing a service like eBliss is that you don't have to worry about shipping. If all of your inventory is at eBliss, they will be able to take care of shipping for you while you're gone, which is amazing. Finally, you want to do a few things on the morning of your trip, or if you're leaving really early in the morning, perhaps these are things that you want to do the night before you leave for your trip. And I would say that these things differ depending on if you're taking a short trip versus a long trip. And by short trip, I mean maybe like 4 or 5 days. Again, I sell on Poshmark. That's one of my main platforms. And on Poshmark, technically, I think it's like you have up to a week to ship out an item. You'll get a ton of really annoying messages from Poshmark if you decide to wait that long. But I think you have up until a week before Poshmark just cancels the sale for you. So I would consider a short trip anything under that amount of time in which you could realistically not have to put your closet on vacation mode, but you could still get things shipped out before Poshmark cancels your sale. I'd consider that a short trip. So I'm going to say a week or less. So if you're going on a short trip, I would say that the night before or the morning of on eBay, I would extend your handling time. When you list an item on eBay, you have to say in the listing what your shipping and handling time is. And what that means is how many days you are promising the buyer you're going to take to get their item shipped out to them. Obviously, eBay really likes it when buyers are able to, ship within a day or even do same day shipping. And there are like perks for those who are able to ship that quickly. But what you can do is on eBay, you can extend your handling time for as long as 10 days. Lies. It's actually up to 30 days, which is amazing. So you can go in and bulk edit all of your eBay listings. And by doing so, you're letting your buyers know, hey, by purchasing this item, you are agreeing to give me this many days to ship the item out. And what I would do is I would think about how long your trip is and choose your shipping and handling time according to that. So for example, if you are going on a trip that's going to last you 5 days, I would change my shipping and handling time to 5 days. And that way your buyer knows when they purchase the item, okay, this person has 5 days to ship the item item out, and I would still maybe send them a message letting them know, because I do think that eBay buyers are accustomed to, items being sent out pretty quickly. That's what happens in the age of Amazon Prime. So I think it is good customer service, even if you've changed your shipping and handling time, just to let your buyers know, hey, it says it in the listing, but I just want to let you know I am on a trip and I will be able to ship your item out first thing on blank. You can tell them, what day it is that you're going to be back. But what I would do is, as each day passes, I would decrease your shipping and handling time by 1 day. And for me personally, I know when I'm on vacation, I am on vacation. Like, I'm not thinking about my reselling business. And so I need to set a timer for myself, preferably at some time of day. It's like the same time of day every day that I'm on my trip, when I know I'm not going to be doing anything super exciting. So maybe a time of day when I know I'm probably like in my hotel room washing up or something like that, maybe at like 9 or 10 p.m. And what I'll do is I'll set an alarm with a label that says change your shipping and handling time. And that's a reminder to me to go onto my computer and really quickly bulk edit all of my eBay listings. And instead of 5 days, now I'm going to change my shipping and handling time to 4 days, because I can get that item shipped out in 4 days, because I'm now 1 day into my vacation. And I do that every day up until the time that I can change my shipping and handling time back to 1 day shipping, which is what I personally do. If you typically do 2-day shipping, then all you got to do is, get to the point where you have bulk edited all of your listings to 2-day shipping and handling, and then you're good to go. That way also you're actively in the eBay app, you're like fiddling around in there, and they're like, okay, this person is still doing something with eBay, and hopefully they continue to work the eBay algorithm in your favor. So like I said, on Poshmark and Mercari, I think Mercari too, I feel like you have maybe only like 5 days. I don't remember exactly. I'll figure it out for sure and I'll let you know here. Poshmark, I think it's 7 days, whatever it is, if your trip is going to be a shorter amount of time than Mercari and Poshmark give you to ship items out, you don't even have to go on vacation mode. And on Mercari, I don't even know if you can go on vacation mode. But regardless, if your trip is short enough, you don't really have to do anything. But one thing I would do is I would create a keyboard shortcut so that when someone purchases an item from you, or when someone sends you an offer, I would create a keyboard shortcut so that you can reach out to the buyer and very quickly, with whatever word or little phrase that you create a keyboard shortcut out of, I would send that to your buyer or potential buyers. Again, good customer service, just letting them know, thank you so much for your purchase. I do want you to know that I am out of town and I will be back on blank date, and will be able to ship out your item, as soon as I'm back. You just want to make sure that they understand there's going to be a delay. And the annoying thing about that is, yes, some people might be like, oh, then actually I don't want this item anymore because I really needed it, in a very timely manner. Most people, however, are going to be really understanding, and they're going to be really thankful that you communicated with them beforehand, rather than them sitting there wondering why you're taking so long to ship their item out. And the keyboard shortcut just makes that process so much faster, so that you're not sitting there typing and missing parts of your vacation. Let's say your keyboard shortcut is created out of the word vacay. You just write the word vacay with like the number 1 after it or something. And whenever you type that, out pops the phrase just kind of explaining the fact that you're gone on a trip. It makes it so much faster and gives you more time then to be fully present in the vacation that you're on. Now, if you're going on a longer trip, for example, I have a trip coming up to Seattle where we are going to be gone for 2 weeks, and 2 weeks is much too long. If someone were to purchase something at the beginning of that time, let's say on Mercari or Poshmark or even eBay, it's just too long. I won't be able to ship the item out before, the platform just goes ahead and cancels the sale on my end because I haven't shipped it out in a timely manner. So on Poshmark, it's really easy to go on vacation mode. You just literally put your closet on vacation mode, and you can, say when you're going to come back, and you can go on vacation mode for as long or as short as you want. And that way, no one is able to purchase anything from you. They're still able to share your listings. They're still able to like your listings, but they're not able to make any purchases from you because you're on vacation. On eBay, there is like a vacation option. On eBay, you can do something called time away. This is under seller tools. If you click on time away, it's going to give you a few options. So one is you can schedule your time away, We'll look at that here in a second. And then you can also create an automatic response. The automatic response is for you to create something that will be sent to buyers if they try and contact you. It's kind of like, going on vacation mode with your email, in the sense that when someone tries to email you, they get an automated response from your email saying, that you're out of the office until such and such time. This is sort of the same thing. So if you wanted to create an automatic response, you can, select on message when on time away, and that will be sent to buyers when they try to contact you through eBay. We were talking about scheduling time away. So if you click on this, you can actually pause item sales while you are gone. That way, if you are on a trip that is, let's say, longer than 30 days, let's say you're on like a 2-month backpacking trip or something like that, and if that's the case, I am very jealous of you, then you can actually set it up so that people cannot even buy anything because you're just not going to be back in time to ship those items out. So you can, start the date that you're going to be gone, and then you can put the end date in regards to when it is that you are going to be returning, and they can turn off the time away. If you want, however, you can, show that you're away, but you can still allow things to sell even though you are gone. And that might be if, you're only going to be gone for a short amount of time. Personally, I don't know why you would do this. I feel like you would just change your shipping and handling time, but it is up to you how you want to run your business. And this is a tool that eBay gives its sellers. But what I'm planning on doing for my trip to Seattle is, again, extending my handling time for 10 days, putting up my vacation notice or like my time away notice, letting people know I'm not really going to be there because I'm going to be on vacation. And then on Mercari, I am just going to make all of my listings go inactive until I'm about 3 or 4 days out from coming home, because at that point, I can make a sale and still ship the item out in time when I come home, because then I have enough time to get the item shipped out before Mercari just cancels the sale for me. Same with Poshmark. If I go on vacation mode, I'm going to schedule my vacation mode to end around the time when there's like 5 days left of my vacation, so that my closet can be back in selling mode and I have, enough days to get the item shipped out in time before Poshmark is going to cancel any transactions. Again, I'm going to set a timer for the day that I need to reactivate all of my Mercari listings. And I do think that even if you say on Poshmark for vacation mode, like I'm going to be back at such and such date, I do think that you still have to manually go in and turn off vacation mode. So again, I'm going to set an alarm or a reminder for myself to do that, to take myself off of vacation mode, probably when I have like 5 days left in my trip. So I do have a few tips for things that you can do while you're on vacation. And these are minimal things because, again, the whole point of going on vacation is to enjoy yourself, take a step away from your reselling business, and just kind of like reset and rejuvenate yourself, right? So we're not going to be talking about crazy things that you have to do or like a crazy amount of time that you have to spend on your reselling business. But the first thing I would say is if you do sell on Poshmark, I would find a way to continue sharing your closet. I personally use a VA service. I have someone who shares my closet for me. I know a lot of people are just coming out and sharing very publicly that they have bots. Now, the only thing I don't like about bots while you're on vacation is you still have to do something. Like you still have to sit there and like turn the bot on and say like, I would like to share my closet now. I don't know, because I don't personally use a bot myself, but I feel like it's still like you have to do a couple things in order for the bot to share your closet. You could hire someone to share your closet for you. You could go on Fiverr and find someone to do it. You could, ask your cousin or a student of yours or just someone in your life, you could pay them a little bit and say, can you please share my closet for me? I would continue doing that just so you have that activity still even while you're gone. And that's how you rack up likes and whatnot is, through sharing. So I would find a way to continue sharing your Poshmark closet. I would also, again, if you are okay with spending a little bit of time on your reselling business, I would find ways to perhaps relist stale listings. So for example, on eBay, you can do something that people very frequently call end listing sell similar. And what that means is you sort through your eBay listings to see which items are going to be renewed by eBay automatically because the 30 days are up. And so what you can do is instead of just having eBay renew the listing, you can end that listing and sell similar off of your old listing. And what that does is it ends your old listing, but it creates a brand new listing using the old listing. And that way you're not just renewing a stale listing over and over again, but in eBay's eyes, you've just created a brand new listing, and it took you all of like 5 seconds, because literally all you have to do is press end listing and then sell similar. If you want to make some edits, go ahead, but you're on vacation. I wouldn't. I would just push that same exact listing out, but you're pushing it out as a brand new listing. So, you could do that for as few as like 3 listings just to kind of keep your store active on eBay per day. On Poshmark, they have a similar feature. It's called the copy listing feature. And what you do is you find any listing that is 60 days or older, and you just copy the listing and then delete the old listing. And what that does is create a new listing in Poshmark. Even though it's the exact same listing that you had before, it's still a brand new listing with a new ID number and everything. Now, I do this even faster using an app called Seller Insight. It literally allows me to end an old listing and copy that listing in, I want to say 10 seconds per listing. And the best thing about it is I don't have to go searching for which listings are 60 days or older. It's on the dashboard. Right on the dashboard, there is a section dedicated to your listings that are 60 days or older, and it just cycles through them as you relist. I can relist probably 10 listings on Poshmark using Seller Insight. I want to say in like 2 or 3 minutes. So if you have 2 or 3 minutes, maybe you're just waiting in line at the car rental place on vacation. Maybe you're just waiting for your apps to come out. 2 or 3 minutes, you could relist 10 listings. And what that does is it allows you to show some sort of engagement in the Poshmark app, on the Poshmark website, and it helps trigger the Poshmark algorithm in your favor. Finally, again, this is just if you want to, but if you get any questions while you're on vacation, about measurements or about the fabric or whatever, if you get any questions on any of your listings, I would, if you have the time, just go ahead and respond to them. I would respond with, hey, thank you so much for your interest in this item and for checking out my closet. I am on vacation right now, but I do want you to know that as soon as I get home, I will check on this issue for you. And the reason why I would respond to people's questions is because 1, it typically doesn't take that much time. 2, it shows good customer service because you are responding to them and you are trying to, be as helpful as possible. But 3, the act of commenting back, the act of answering their question on the Poshmark app or, on eBay, it shows engagement. It shows activity. And what these reselling platforms want is for you to be active on their platform. So even though you're not actually giving any sort of answer, most likely because you don't have that item in front of you, it still shows activity and engagement. So if you can, and if you can be bothered to do so, I would go ahead and answer any questions that come your way. Finally, what are the things that you should do once you come back from your trip? I would say the very first thing you should do is ship. Ship anything that has sold and make that your first priority. And the reason for that is because that is the number one thing that you can do to keep all of your reselling platforms happy. You might think that it's listing, you might think that it's sharing, but it's actually shipping your items out in a timely manner. And the truth of the matter is you are not shipping your items out in a timely manner because days have passed since purchases have been made. And even if you've changed your shipping and handling time, even if you're allowed more than 2 days to ship on platforms like Poshmark, the truth of the matter is the faster of a shipper you are, those reselling platforms take notice and it does something for you in the algorithm. So the first thing I would do is ship. The second thing that I would do is just show a lot of activity in meaningful ways on your various platforms. So for example, on Poshmark, one thing that I'm going to do as soon as I come back from New York is I'm probably just going to send out offers on everything in my closet for like 10, 15, 20% off. And that's much easier to do now with Poshmark's bulk seller features. I personally did not have any of those features until today. Let's see, today is June 29th. I feel like I have heard people talking about, being able to send out offers in bulk or drop prices in bulk for like 2 weeks now. And what I did was I finally got around to deleting the Poshmark app from my phone. And when I reinstalled it, there was that little icon, the little tool icon, and that was what enabled me to do things in bulk. And so I haven't actually messed around with it yet, but I do plan on sending out offers as soon as I come back just to really spark a ton of activity in my Poshmark closet and hopefully make some sales as soon as I'm back. I would do the same exact thing on eBay. If you have watchers on anything, I would go ahead and send out offers on all those things. I would run a sale. I think that's what I'm going to do as soon as I come back from New York, is run a sale in my eBay store. Just as much as you can do to drum up as much traffic and show as much activity on those various platforms as possible. Same thing on Mercari. On Mercari, you can promote your listings. You can send offers on listings that have a bunch of likes on them. Just anything that you can to show these different reselling platforms that you are being proactive about making sales. And when they see that, they're going to try to help you out as well. Thirdly, if you chose not to respond to any questions while you were on vacation, and if that was the case, I don't blame you. Again, you're on vacation. Then at this time, once you're back from your trip, once you've shipped everything out, once you've, maybe put your store on sale, once you've sent out a bunch of offers and stuff, at this time, I would respond to any questions that people may have left you when it comes to, the different listings that you have. And then finally, just as quickly as you can, get back to normal. Get back to normal when it comes to listing new items, when it comes to sharing, when it comes to, sending out offers and whatnot. You just want to get back into your normal pace. And this is easier if you followed the advice that I gave from things that you can do before you go on your trip, of having items for you to list once you return. You want to set yourself up for success before you even leave, so that it doesn't seem like such a mountain to climb when it comes to getting back into the ease of things. If you have any other tips on things that resellers can do so that they don't have to just completely kill their reselling business just because they're going on vacation, please share those tips down in the comments below. I would really love to hear from you. And for those of you who are watching, I recommend hanging out in the comment section a little bit too, because people always leave such helpful information. I feel like I shared pretty in depth in this video, but regardless, there's still going to be so many other tips that people have to share. So definitely make sure that you read through some of those comments, leave some of your own, because, this is such a wonderful community of people who are so knowledgeable when it comes to reselling. And if you want to see if these tips actually worked and helped me keep the momentum going in my reselling business while I was on vacation, definitely make sure that you subscribe, because once I come back, I will be doing a what sold video, and I do a what sold video every week. So you'll be able to see if I continue to have consistent sales, or if despite my best efforts, my reselling business still just flopped. We'll see what happens. But I am confident that this is going to help me out and help me, just see better sales than when I went to the Smoky Mountains, because that was rough. It was rough times, and I don't want anyone to go through that. So let's be diligent about setting up our reselling businesses for success, even while we're away, so that we can truly enjoy the time that we are spending with our family and friends and loved ones. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, if you felt like you learned anything, please hit that like button on your way out. I hope you enjoy whatever future trips you have planned, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.